All right, at 7:30, this meeting of New Philadelphia City Council will now come to order. Would you please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance? Mr. Griffith.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would you please join me in prayer? Most gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the many freedoms that you give us in this land and for an opportunity to serve this fine city. Lord, we just want to thank you for all the great people who work within this city, our service workers, our safety forces, our administrators, health department, just every person here who works for the city and for the good of our residents. Lord, we thank you for them, and we just pray that you continue to bless and keep them. Father, we would pray for your presence in this meeting tonight. Grant us wisdom, grant us patience and the ability to work together as we strive to make decisions that will move this city forward into the future. Lord, we ask that you bless this council and everyone in it. It's in Jesus' name we ask this. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. And welcome everyone to our council meeting. We'll start off with roll call.
Mr. Crimebell.
Here.
Mr. Lanzer.
Here.
Mrs. Ramos.
Here.
Mr. Rippeth.
Present.
Mr. Sears.
Here.
Mr. Simmelink.
Present.
Mr. Walker.
Here.
All right, thank you. Great. Full vote tonight. Everybody's here. Everybody had a chance to review the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda tonight? Here, now entertain a motion to approve.
Make motion.
All right, need a second. Thank you, Mr. Griffith. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mr. Crimebell.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
All right, our agenda has been approved. Minutes, everybody's had a chance to review the minutes from our last council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve. Thank you, Mr. Ramos. Need a second. Thank you, Mr. Walker. In discussion by administration, council, roll call.
Mrs. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Crimebell.
Yes.
Mr. Lanzer.
Yes.
Mr. Rippeth.
Yes.
Mr. Sears.
Yes.
Mr. Simmelink.
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
I don't know how I missed you.
Correspondence, Ms. Courtwright.
To council and administration from Mayor Day dated February 18th, 2026. This is an email titled Board of Health Education, and it contains a link to a YouTube video produced by the Canton City Health Department. The email states that this video was shown to the Health Board during its monthly meeting. To council and administration from Health Commissioner for the City, Nicole Beige. This is the 2025 New Philadelphia City Health Department communicable disease report. To Council Clerk from Auditor of the State of Ohio, Keith Faber, dated February 23rd, 2026. This is a notification of filing of the New Philadelphia City Health District Report. And to Council and Administration from Mayor Day, dated February 23rd, 2026, the Mayor's Report. And that concludes correspondence for this evening.
All right, thank you, Mr. Courtright. Moving to our administrative reports. First up, Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll go to the podium because we're going to make a presentation here tonight, a proclamation presentation.
All right.
So if I can get my report from the podium. First off, I want to say at the recent monthly meeting of the Tuscarora Park Foundation, I learned that the Inclusion Playground project continues to move forward, but the project is still about $66,000 short of its fundraising goal. Applications is going to be made by the project folks to local foundations in order to try to make up the shortfall. But those folks at home, in particular, individuals can still make donations to the project. To do so, just go to the Tuscarora Park Foundation's PayPal webpage, and I've got it that URL listed on the mayor's report that we'll post on Facebook tomorrow. And you can go follow that link and go to the Foundation's General Fund and leave a note that says Inclusive Playground Project, and you can make your donation there. Construction of the playground is slated to begin sometime this spring. This morning, Service Director McAbeer and myself had an opportunity to tour the construction progress at the new Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District headquarters facility on Tech Park Drive in Northeast. And as I commented to several of the MWCD employees that were on the tour, I told them this is going to be a lifestyle change for you, and indeed it will. The new building's design utilizes as much natural light as possible to light common areas and offices. Sunlight will dramatically change their work environment for the better. For cost savings, it'll reduce dependence on electric lighting. Plus, there's going to be some amenities inside and outside of the building that will encourage health and wellness. It's just, the building design is amazing to me. It's cutting edge, and it will be one of the most, I think, forward-looking buildings in this entire region of Ohio. And by the way, behind the building, there's going to be a dog park. So New Philadelphia will have its second dog park, which is great. According to MWCD Executive Director Craig Butler, the move into the new headquarters facility should be completed around November 20th, with the grand opening sometime in December. Meanwhile, MWCD is entertaining offers to either lease or sell its current headquarters building on 3rd Street Northwest. And in the report, and you'll see it online, I included about 6 photos that we took during the tour today. So that'll give you an indication of just an idea of what it looks like. All right, now I'd like to call Gradall Industries President Mike Popovich to the podium for a special award. The name Gradall has become synonymous with New Philadelphia because of the company's long history in our community. The mayor's office has prepared a proclamation to present to Mr. Popovich and Gradall in celebration and recognition of its 80th anniversary. So, Mike, let me read this, and then I'll present it to you. This is a proclamation from the office of the mayor. Whereas the city of New Philadelphia is proud to celebrate with Gradall Industries Incorporated on the occasion of its 80th year of manufacturing Gradall brand excavators. And whereas the first Gradall excavator was designed by the Ferrurda brothers. Ford brothers? Ferrurda brothers. Thank you. And the rights were sold to Warner and Swasey in 1945. By the end of 1946, the first lot of 11 Gradall M2400 machines were manufactured and shipped out of Cleveland. And whereas Gradall's manufacturing operations were moved to New Philadelphia in 1950, and that location continues to be home for all Gradall manufacturing, engineering, sales, and product support operations. And whereas now wholly owned by the Alamo Group of Seguin, Texas, Great All Industries Incorporated continues to be a leading corporate citizen of New Philadelphia, as well as Tuscarawas County and the entire state of Ohio. Whereas for 80 years, Great All Excavators have been the only hydraulically driven excavators to be designed and assembled fully in the United States and solely in the state of Ohio. And whereas we are proud to say that Great All Industries' long-standing record and reputation will be among those honored at the ConExpo AGG Global Construction Equipment Trade Show in Las Vegas this month. So now, therefore, I, Joel Beam Day, the mayor of the city of New Philadelphia, do hereby congratulate Great All Industries on the occasion of its 80th anniversary celebration and present this proclamation as an expression of sincere appreciation from the city of New Philadelphia for Great All's dedicated service and contribution to our community. Mike, it's with our great honor, I'd like to present that to you. Got it? Go ahead.
I'm going to be brief. I'm not going to take anyone's time up tonight, but on behalf of Great All and our parent Alamo Group, I am honored to accept this proclamation. You know, this is about Great All's long-standing commitment to the entire community. You know, we've been here forever, intend to be here forever. You know, this isn't just the end, this is the start for us. We're doing well, and I would like to see that continue here. And, you know, as you guys, if any of you guys know me, I'm big into trying to support the community wherever possible, helping however much as I can. Can't help everyone all the time, but we do our best, and that's because Great All's just a good company, and we're trying to do our best to help everyone however we can. So once again, thank you very much. It's a great 80 years, and we hope to do 80 more years, and I think we're well positioned for that. So thank you.
Mike, we're glad to have you as part of our community and say another 80 years. So,
I am certainly hoping.
Yes.
I think we're in a good spot.
yes,
That's
proud
great
to
to
have
hear.
you.
Well, Mr. President, that concludes my report. Any questions?
Any questions for the mayor?
Thank you very
Mayor
much.
Day. Next up, Service Director, Mr. McAveer.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also will, for the first time in a long time, go to the podium,
Wow.
which is a rare bird for me.
Yes.
And I have my lovely Vanna White,
There you go.
as you all know, she does a lot of the heavy lifting for me. So once she's ready, I will start. And I don't know if a lot of you know, with talking with Pop, but everything that they've truly done for the city, the Ferris wheel and different things, they've powder coated for, I mean, I don't know if the Ferris wheel would be running right now if it wasn't for Great All. I mean, it just goes from the hydraulics to the motor. Yeah, bring it down. And, you know, you talk to Greg Reese out there, yeah, bring it down. We'll see what we can do. So they gave us a mower that, you know, I forget the name brand.
Dixie Chopper.
Okay, but I can't thank him enough for what, he's been a great partner for us, and again, the 80 years, and just a asset to New Philadelphia. But I would personally thank you, Pop, I appreciate that. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, I want to bring up, I know that Councilman Lonzer was down and took a look at some of the trucks that we've been running with down at General Service Department. And after you see these photos and look at them, it's easy to tell or say or whatever that there's no department within this city that does more with less with everything that they have to do. Hands down, bar none. Find me one, I'll buy them lunch for the rest of the lifetime. Right here, this is truck 41. We call this Frankenstein because we've taken other trucks. The cab of that is from Goshen Township, the truck they didn't want. And then we got the bed from an old state truck that we was able to rehab into a full truck for us. Go to the next one then, John Lee. 27, if you look at this, this is a hand-me-down from the water department. That's the red color from that. We had that oil line rotted off this year, seized up the motor, so that's no longer in service. The amount of repairs for that makes it obsolete to, we're gonna have to really look into getting another truck. And then 32, there's Frankenstein again. As you can see, multiple trucks trying to make it into a truck that we can get on the road safely and try to service the folks there within the community. Again, multiple trucks to make one decent truck. 52, as you see, another hand-me-down from the water department. Has no bed on it, has no salt, it's just something that we haul with throughout the winter time. If it's too snowy, we, might get brush slips or different things with that. Okay? And I think everybody knew about this one. It's truck 37. Go ahead and flip through those if you would. We all see what happened. We all see the flames that was up there. We consider ourselves extremely lucky. That could have been a lot worse. Could have been fatality there. And if we're lucky, it was on Tech Park Drive. And it was out in an area that no other vehicles was around. You put another vehicle right in there, you're on Minnick Avenue where, toe-to-toe on trucks, a couple more vehicles start on fire, maybe a house fire. So we got spared there. Again, as you see. This is Unit 9. I'll tell you how old Unit 9 is. It's a 1999. It's a bucket truck that we have. I'm the one that equipped that truck in 99. It started in the traffic department. As you see, the bed's rotting out of it. The dielectric's coming off of the cables on that. The bed's rotting out. The frame's rotting out on that. Again, I equipped that truck with every tool that was on that truck and thought it was the greatest thing, and it was back in there. But again, it's outlived its life. 39, and since 2023, we've spent almost $15,000 keeping this truck on the road. As you see, the cab, the roof is rotting out. And you might say, well, wait, but remember, it's a 2008, and those trucks go in, if everybody doesn't know this, after a storm, if it isn't the next day, it's in 2 days, we wash all those out. We take all the salt out of the beds, take all the salt that goes inside of when you load those trucks, it doesn't all go into so it falls in there. That's all out of there. We empty it all out and spray them all out, and this is what you still end up with. We're trying to do all the maintenance you can on that. Again, have almost $15,000 in that since 2023. This is an interesting truck here. It's also a 99. The frame is rusted and flaking away on that truck. You'll see there's the frame on it. It continues. Another great picture of it. There the firewall's about rusted through. Next one. Truck 14, a 1994 that we're keeping on the road. Got lucky on this one. We had a fuel line break, got on the manifold, and it could have started a fire, but luckily it did not. The driver was able to make sure that didn't happen. But again, as you see, and again, it's a 1994. Is this 36, I believe? Yeah. 36. This is very interesting, and I need you guys to really look at a couple of these photos we're going to show you here. And once John Lee gets to, I'll have her stop. But this is the same, the firewalls and everything that they're rusting through and different things. There, right there, look at that, if you, can you guys see that? There's the frame, and see, that right there, that cab is sitting on the frame. The cab mounts have rotted out, and they cannot, there's nothing to put a new cab mounts to. So that cab is sitting on the frame. That's a stagecoach going down the road when you're driving that. That's what that is. Plain and simple. There it is again. The cab is sitting on the frame. And there's your frame rotting out. And then, just another thing I would like to bring up about general services, talking about things that, like the bucket truck that I talked about back in '99 when we brought that in. I believe it was 2000, 2001, I believe, that we did the big exchange over on traffic boxes, traffic lights, we switched to all the LEDs. That was when I was here, and that's when I was in traffic in 2001. Ray and a few of the guys that just went back up to Pathmaster. They're out of Twinsburg, Ohio. And that's where we purchased our stuff from at that time. And the brand at that time, and I believe it's still that, I'm sure, was Econolite, was state-of-the-art stuff. 100% state-of-the-art stuff, top of the line. If everybody remembers back then, I mean, most of you probably don't, but that was an 80-20 grant. And then there were so many lights that we put back up, we had to pay for 100%. Second on high was paid for 100% through the city of New Philly, but all the other lights that are here, you know, naturally we lost a bunch, as you guys remember. A bunch of them on Fair that are four ways now, and some on Front that was not there. But my point back to that is Ray found out Friday when he was up there that can't get parts for him no more. We can get another controller that's compatible with some of our stuff that we have, and they're about $4,500 a piece. So we need to be thinking about how we're going to start replacing those as we can. We have some now that are showing conflicts, and when you pull up to one of those and you see an all red everywhere, that means a conflict. That's what it's supposed to do. It doesn't want to stay through anything. It's reaching a conflict. There's a green on both ways or a red on some way. It goes right into conflict. It's flashing red. We're having that now on a few of them. It's going to continue to happen until we upgrade these traffic lights as needed. We need to start that now or soon. Any questions? Like I say, I brought Ray with me tonight, Ray Gruel from General Services. If anybody has any questions, I'll have them come up to the podium, or any comments, I'll take them for now. Yes, sir.
My only comment is thank God we have Mike down there to work on these trucks.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you guys gotta see him firsthand. I mean, the pictures is one thing, but you gotta go down there.
And I might add, and Ray may say something about this, or if you have to say anything. I know that, what was that, the 26th, January, had that snow. Usually snow like that, we're about 13 trucks out. We had 7. To me, unacceptable, just for the simple fact that you're not giving the service that we're supposed to be providing for the citizens to be able to get out there on safe, clean streets in a timely manner. Was able to pull in some of the other guys from the cemetery, but they're just in pickup trucks and that type of thing. There's nothing was sold on those trucks. So when you should have 12 trucks on the road and you're down to with 7 trucks on the road, and I'd imagine, I haven't rehearsed this or anything with Ray, but I'm sure 2 of those came in after being run for about 12 or 14 hours, because clearly you can see why they was probably drug in here after 12 or 14 hours straight running. Again, I just wanted to make council aware of it and take a look at those things.
Yes, Chris.
Oh, sure, I mean, it don't matter who first, I mean, I don't care, do you want me to go or you?
I saw you first, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I'll go ahead. So, you know, obviously, Ron, this, amazing, you got stuff from the nineties still running in today's world. But I mean, I'm sure you're here for a reason. And as we're budgeting and doing all this is, when I see this is stuff, I know Kevin brought it up, strategic planning, planning ahead. I'm not gonna put you on the spot tonight, but this is clearly something that we're gonna need to address sooner than later. Do you think you'll be able to come up with, like, what the true needs are, like, and we can get a list to try to plan ahead? Like, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna be able to do everything in 1 year.
Right.
But I mean, there's clearly needs. So I'm just curious, is that something you and Ray can get together and try to come back to council and kind of?
Yes, and,
See where we're at?
yeah, and that's a great question because, last 3 years, we've been trying to do that and it gets kicked out of the, so, I guess to that question, that sounds great. And, you know, you try to do it and, okay, yeah, we got a strategic plan, we wanna add 2 every year from that. And no, okay, so you go to put a plan together and it doesn't get funded. We can talk about, you know, and it's not wants, these are needs. But, you know, if we can't go anywhere with it, it's great that Ray and I get to talk and have a strategic plan, but if you can't make that, cross that finish line, you know, that just, it's tough to do.
I put in for trucks every year since I've been here, and this is going on 14 years for me.
And
I've got a truck a handful of times since I've been
Yeah.
here, so.
And then-
Just try to make do with what we got, but it's getting harder and harder.
And then back to, like, if you look at Ray's budget this year, just to let everybody know, and he'll tell you as far as the aggressiveness that we've had, with paving, with the numbers they have, and if this body's fine with it, I'll roll with it. We'll probably got enough to do about 2 alleys this year, so be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready, and be ready. We're gonna do about 2 alleys. So, because we're gonna have to buy salt. We gotta buy hot mix, because hot mix is gonna have to fill the holes. Hot mix ain't gonna fill the holes for roads that we want paving, because you typically stay off of those ones to save from patching and then going over and paving them. But we'll have to continue to patch, 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 and then patch again. Again, with this budget that he has, we may be able to do 2 alleys. Maybe.
All the patches is the potholes you're seeing now, they don't last, they pop out every winter, so. Then we fight it all winter with cold mix. You see how that, I mean, how many times you seen us patch Broadway this year alone? I mean, it's just throwing money in a hole and next day it's out. But what are you gonna do? You gotta try to do your best for the citizen, you know? They hit a pothole, they're pretty mad about it, so. So all we can do is just Band-Aids everywhere, so. And this is probably, I mean, this is the lowest budget I've had in years, and everybody knows how much everything's went up in the past 5 years, so. I don't know how I'm going backwards on my budget, I mean, that's not right, so. Like he's talking about the traffic stuff, I mean, you can't hardly drive through town anymore without lights flashing, and that's because everything's so old. Something throws a conflict, like you said, and they're in flash. I mean, we can only do so much with it, so.
Yes, Mr. Ramos.
Okay, I think what Mr. Grimeville was asking for was a list, and that was my question too. Could council have a list of the equipment you have, including the lights? And then a list of capital expenses, the replacement schedule? Whoever, whenever, you can email it to us, or when you guys put it together, not the plan, the list.
Sure,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other questions?
Just one more, quick one for you, Ronnie. Like, on these trucks, is there any way we can do like, you know, like how we do some of the vehicles for different departments, like a payment, you know, like instead of buying them outright, you know?
That should be on the list, the replacement schedule.
I mean, I can give you a list today, we need 13 2026 trucks.
Well, I mean,
Put it in writing for us.
instead of buying it outright, we make payments of, buy it.
Hey, whichever, that's this body, whatever. I'm just letting you know how they are and know that I need them.
I know that.
You know what I mean? Whatever this body decides to do with my information tonight, I'm letting you know what we have and what we're gonna pay. So if everybody here is fine with that, I'll move on with what we have here. Ray will move on again with what we have.
And if all we have is a shovel and a rake, we're gonna go out and do work, but it's not gonna be the best, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
And
Any other
then,
questions?
Dawn, if I could, I wanna show,
Sure.
one other set of slides here.
Sure.
Go ahead, Donnelly. And this is interesting because this will go back to what I wanted to talk about and where we had this funding in '23 prior until it was removed from our budget. 5/1 of 2018, we purchased the property to have some new cemetery land. We was out of cemetery, so we had no money coming in at all for burials, that was it. Lot sales was not existent. So there, as you see, is the master plan there, and if you look at the next one, it was number 2. This has been on Mr. Herron's and our wish list for the last 3 years. If anybody's down there at East Avenue, the house is to be removed, and this is supposed to be installed there. Early on, when we talked about this, we had buy-in from BCC to help. As you see, there's concrete work, there's family plots in that area. There's a nice columbarium. Beautiful, that's, like I say, that's 2. We're trying to get to number 2. We're trying to get to phase 2 of this. Again, committed to this in 18. March of 19, I believe the master plan was, and then we moved in there June of 21. Again, sales was non-existent. You might do a 1 or 2 they may have had up at East Avenue, no family plots, nothing. I mean, if someone had passed away and it was a 1 or 2, we may be able to accommodate them somewhere with that, but no family burials or any spots like that like we have at Schönbrunn Meadows. So I think everybody knows where I'm going with this. We had funding in that department before, and in '25, I had asked for 2% be reinstated in that, and 2% into the general services. And it did not come to the body, it was denied, and I would ask council to reconsider that. And that's the end of my report. Any questions?
Any other questions? Like Ron?
I had,
Oh, yeah.
okay, we have,
Is this down, excuse me, is this down
Oh.
Ray Avenue?
Yeah, that's phase 3.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping we get to phase
Sorry,
2.
Councilman.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, that was phase 3 right there at Fair Street. That has the old caretaker's building come down. If we keep status quo, we won't see 2, we won't see 3. We'll see our 1,000 spots that we have in the first section up there at Schönbrunn Meadows, and that'll be it. And that's just that little section right by the office that we have. That needs roads to go around to get to the other ones that we need. And that was I think anybody that was here knows the way we did that. Adult ed, Buckeye Career Center. Mr. Jim Deeman from Tucson helped us with the vehicle for that, cut the roads in, gave us the equipment for that, and I believe his name was Tom. Great guy through the adult ed that came in and showed the kids, and I should say the adults, and cut the first couple roads in there for us.
Don.
What was it?
Don.
Don, yes, great guy, easy to work with, did a fabulous job. But again, and I know, shouldn't say I know for a fact, but if BCC could help us do something and they get some learning experience out of it, I guarantee, I shouldn't say that. I believe they'd be more than willing to, if they was available, to give us a hand.
I believe you could probably say you guarantee.
Yeah, I think so too. But, again, just making everybody aware of that. We, committed this back in 18, we purchased this property, and, been wanting to do stage 2, for the last 3 years, and it's still, the house still sits there, still on fuel oil, could bring everybody up to, Fair Avenue or up to, Shumbrun Meadows, but again, we're unable to do that at this time. Yes, Cheryl?
Okay, one of my questions, I don't know if you can answer this, or maybe the auditor can, whoever can answer it. I know she's not here, or Michelle. There are 2 trust funds for the cemetery. Can you use the interest of those trust funds for some of these improvements?
We can, but there's not, if you remember right, well, yeah, you would have been here. The trust funds went to buy the property.
Okay, there's 200,000 left in there,
No,
or?
there is not. You could ask the auditor, but I know it's not even close to that.
Okay.
You're thinking of those, are they endowments, or it's?
Endowments,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Evergreen and,
Yeah, we're slowly rebuilding it by lot sales.
Yeah.
okay.
So if we're not selling lots, or if we're not selling columbarium niches.
And so much, that was done legislative wise, and I don't know the numbers that go back. I think we have enough right now to, buy another columbarium, because, I didn't see the need to come back and the money all be gone, so I said, hey, we're gonna make legislation. And we have enough, so much for columbarium goes into that fund, and so much of, a lot sale, goes into, that fund. But I don't wanna say, ask Heather, ask the auditor. I wanna say you're in the 40s and 50s, maybe between the 2 of them, maybe. But I'd ask Heather to make sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I just want to make one more comment. Ron, I know 3 of you guys work together to do it, but thanks for bringing the stuff on the general services. I mean, I've visited a lot of departments. Shame on me, I have not been to general services. But I know you've talked about this for a while, saying the trucks are rough shape, and sometimes you gotta bring the light to really see they're really in rough shape. And I appreciate Dan bringing that up when he went down, but thank you guys for taking time and presenting to us tonight.
Sure. Hey, thank you guys for hearing me out. And thanks to Vanna White for, flipping the, I'll buy a vowel now.
Any other questions? Thanks, Ron.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, John Lee.
Move on to the safety director, Mr. Milligan.
Well, I was planning on giving the annual report today, but I was late to the agenda, and I want to be respectful of the health department's time in their report. So I'm going to defer the whole annual report to the next council meeting to give everybody quality time to make their presentation. So I'll just give a shortened version of a monthly report. For the month of January, I'll talk about the fire department, 290 calls. I do not have the breakdown of that right in front of me. And for the police department, 1,100 calls. One of the things you heard me talk about previously, and you heard Councilman Crandall mention it, is our pathway to creating a strategic plan for the safety forces of the police and fire department. One of the initial steps that I've taken is rounding for outcomes. It's a tool I've used at other places I've been in leadership, and it's the ability to sit down with all the employees, all the people in the department, and give them a voice to how they feel things are going. And 5 strategic questions that I'll share with this body when I give the report. And I've completed the fire department. I'm meeting with the chiefs on Friday to finalize our findings in that. I am about 3 weeks behind in the police department, thanks to Chief Behovey, who started. She's also conducting some of those interviews with us also. But we'll take that information to not only build upon a strategic plan that improves employee engagement, retention, and recruitment, but it'll also be used for me strategically as we move forward with performance reviews of our senior leadership within our safety forces departments, of the chiefs and the senior leadership. So it's been very successful. I'm excited to share the information with you. There's strategic questions on there, one specifically that talks about administrative support from the city. I look forward to sharing those findings with you. I think you'll find that I often use the words matter, And so when we say certain words, those are heard. And there's more people that watch this meeting than I thought. I found that out very quickly. And so I look forward to sharing some of those sentiments of those that have left the department that I had the ability to actually sit down and meet with and talk about their time here, talking about their decision to leave and what affected that. So I look forward to sharing that. And I will tell you at a very high level, at least in the fire department, there's a lot of internal opportunities, which is a good thing. Things we can fix that I think will enhance engagement and retention. But there's certainly some other challenges similar to that Mr. McAdoo faces, you know, just in general from administrative and financial uncertainty and support. So look forward to discussing that in the next couple of meetings. The other thing I just want to make sure I put out there, I think you guys have seen our officer, Pablo, our K-9, Officer Lambert's K-9, had to undergo surgery last week. The surgery was successful, so he's at home recovering now. But he will need to be medically retired, working with local vets, and we had a second opinion also, just to make sure we're giving Pablo the care that he needs. I view Pablo and Cooper as members of the police department, and they should be treated as such. And so I look forward, moving forward. I'm very appreciative of our K-9 program. Our community has been phenomenal. We did start a fundraising event to help support the purchase of a new K-9, and we've had just an outstanding outpouring of support. So we're appreciative to those that have supported us. We're appreciative of those who are considering continuing to support us. But I also want to look strategically as we bring these K-9s into our department, because they are officers of our department, what we can better to do to fund them from a city perspective for their healthcare perspective. So I'll be working with our benefits consultants and managements to see what type of opportunities we may have to support our K-9 units, because I do think we owe that to them for the service they provide to the city. So I'm appreciative of Officer Lambert and Pablo's service that they're providing us, and appreciative of Officer Lambert off the last couple of days taking care of Pablo as he recovers. So more to come on that, but we've had a great outcry of support from the community to support Pablo, and then to support a future K-9 for its replacement. So I'll defer the rest of my report to next council meeting for the annual report, but I'll take any questions.
Any questions?
I had,
Yes, sure.
so you answered a lot of my questions I had about Pablo, but, and how much do we lack in purchasing a new K-9 officer?
You talk about funding?
Mhm.
So, full disclosure, I think I'm running out of my time to claim the new guy card, but I did not really understand the full funding source of how the K-9 unit worked here at the city, which I think was handled by donations primarily. And those donations not only go to take care of the purchase of Pablo, but the maintenance of Pablo. And so Chief Bahovey's working on what an ongoing maintenance cost I call, what it takes to housing, feeding. We have a great partnership. I won't say which store it is, I get it wrong, but they donate their food to him, to our K-9, so we have a great partnership there. The purchase of a new K-9, somewhere between, don't hold me to the number, $18,000 and $25,000 to purchase, but, and I think we have a lot of community support that's doing that. What I found is I want to look at how we're sustaining and taking care of them ongoing, because, he is a member and employee of the city as far as I'm concerned, and he deserves the same type of, care and treatment that we treat the rest of our employees. So I am going to have a annual cost of what it takes to maintain a K-9. Chief Bahovey, Officer Lambert, and the other K-9 handler guys are working on getting that together for us, so we know what the annual cost is of care of a K-9. And then
So
factor that into the budgeting process.
Are we pretty close to having enough money to buy?
She
buy
gave
the
me a
new?
number today. I don't want to disclose it because she
Okay.
said, don't say it until I double check it.
Okay,
But
okay.
I will certainly say, given the 2 weeks that it's been out there, we've had tremendous support. It doesn't mean stop, any of you who are watching, but we're getting there. So if anybody does want to consider donating to the cause, they can reach out to me directly or stop at the police department and ask for Chief Bahovey. But we're getting close, and that's one of the cool things about living in a small community. When things like this happen, there's a rally that comes around, and so we're appreciative of that, and we won't forget that. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other questions? Yes, Mike?
Is there a place to go online to donate towards that fund?
I don't think we have an online presence yet, but I will get you an answer before I leave this meeting about
Okay.
that. Thank you.
Any other questions? Right, thank you, Mr. Milligan. Let's see, the auditor is excused for tonight, but we want to treasury report, Mrs. Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report tonight.
All right, thank you. Law Director, Mr. Fate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Many of you have heard me brag on my mock trial students, and my kids would call that glazing, but I call it bragging. But one of my mock trial students is here tonight. He doesn't know I'm going to do this, but this is Mr. Devin Hogan sitting in the back here. He's an outstanding student in my mock trial class. One of the things that impresses me the most about these young people is how forward-thinking they are. They are constantly planning and getting ready for their future. And I have one student that's going to be going to Buckeye next year to study cosmetology, and that's because that's a very lucrative profession, and she's going to do that to pay her way through college. And she's already working now, and she's going to do that, and that's typical of this class. And one of the things that Mr. Hogan and I have talked about, something I've encouraged him in, is that he plans to go into the military when he's done here, be an MP, military police in the military, and get his college degree while he's there, and then work in a police department. I'd love to have him come back here, which is why I'm talking about him now. Go into the work in the police department, and eventually go to law school and become a prosecutor. And knowing him and how hard he works in our class, I think he's fully capable of doing that. And I hope you'll see him back here someday as an officer. I hope I'm still here when we do that. But the only thing that I wanted to talk to you about tonight was you heard me hint at potential litigation, and I talked about potentially going into closed session to discuss that. Well, we've resolved that matter, and so I wanted to enlighten you on what that matter was. Many of you are familiar with the issues that we've had at our Quaker Court Trailer Park. We've had 2 arsons there in about the last, I believe it's over the last 3 years. One of them recently within about the last 7 months, I believe it was. And each time that we've had an arson there, it resulted in the trailer next to it also burning down. So we've had a total of 4 trailers burned down there, and we had 1 resident that was completely displaced, an elderly gentleman completely displaced. Both of the fires were arsons. These arsons, as you know, we've been trying to tackle this around the city for a number of years. The mayor's been a great leader in this. We've been going after and trying to tear down these enforcement and safety personnel in the fire department, and it's also a danger to our surrounding citizens. So we had the trailers that burned down, we got the company to tear those down and remove them. We had 4 other trailers that we identified that needed to be torn down. All 4 of them appear to have been abandoned for years. I want to thank our code enforcement administrator, Josh Mathias, as well as Captain Schultz, or Captain Jim Schultz, our fire inspector, who did an outstanding job at getting on top of these things. And eventually, we had Captain Schultz had filed a number of fire code violations against them on this, and they never appealed those, never filed any type of appeal in the timely manner. And then I eventually authorized and discussed putting a tear down order on these buildings. And these buildings were condemned and were going to be torn down by law. We have to give them 30 days to tear them down. And lo and behold, that got the company's attention. The company that was overseeing them, that got their attention, and no, they wanted to save these. We got a new management team, I was told. We want to try and save these. We think we can rehab these. Once they saw what was going on, they agreed to tear down 1 of the 4. They were to be torn down by February 20th. That was the deadline. They had until the 20th, and then the city was going to tear them down themselves. And I worked with them and negotiated with them. I fully anticipated that they were going to file for an injunction, probably on the 19th or the 20th, to prevent anything from being done. I negotiated with them, told them I never moved the date as part of the negotiation, which is something they wanted us to do. But I never moved that, and I told them, look, I think if you guys get in there and look at these, I think you're gonna agree these can't be rehabbed, it's more economical to tear them down. And I'm happy to report that by the 19th, all 4 trailers were torn down, and there are abandoned lots there now, and it didn't cost the city anything to have those torn down, and I'm really pleased with how that worked out. I just want to thank all those involved, and like I said, the work that our people did was outstanding. If I had to go to court, we were in pretty good shape. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy that the company took the right path and did the right thing in this instance. So that's great news, and I wanted you to know that we're still on top of this, we're still working about it. This happens all the time in our city. There's buildings you don't hear about that are getting tore down. I'm not usually involved directly with them. I go to a meeting every month where we review what's going on with those, but it's really Mr. Matthias and Captain Schultz that are at the forefront of this. They go into houses that I can't even look at the pictures without getting the willies. They look so bad. And so they're doing a fantastic job for our citizens, and just really, the city's really on top of this, and I want to thank the mayor for his leadership in that regard. If there's any questions about that, I'd be happy to take them.
I just want one comment, if I don't mind. I want to echo Mr. Fate's comments. Josh Matthias and Captain Schultz have just done a phenomenal job when you look at the work they're doing in the city, and kind of starting from the ground floor, building up, and have the opportunity to work with both of them on certain situations. And they're very professional, they're really diligent, and they're making a lot of headway in this city for us. So just appreciative, and I agree with Marvin that Josh and Captain Schultz have just done a great job and continue to do that for us.
Yes, Mr. McAvoy.
Yeah, and what the law director had stated there about the fact that they ended up tearing them down. That was a huge win for us, just because as we know, the money was tight. We had the money sitting there budget-wise, but we're gonna go in and tear them down, and you're gonna put something on a tax, it's gonna be years from now before we get that money back. So, the way we was there to wait them out, and again, just with Marvin too, I figured it was gonna be an injunction to let's do anything, but, I did think it was a huge win on both ends. They're down, number one, and number two, we didn't pay a dime to get them tore down. So again, I think that was fabulous for all around, but thank you, Marvin.
Any other questions? All right, thanks, Marvin.
Mr. Kemp? Yeah,
Yes,
one
Mr. Miller.
addition to my report to Mr. Walker's
Yes.
question, that way it's on the record. There is a website, it's by the Police K-9 Association out of Canton, PK9, and it's Help K-9 Pablo Breathe, which is a GoFundMe. So if you go to GoFundMe, Help Pablo, K-9 Pablo Breathe, and it's by the PK9A Association, K-9 Association, that's supporting us in this, and been great partners, so, thank you.
We have maybe get that on a city website?
I
Yeah, we can do
certainly
that.
can talk to Larry Marr about doing that if
Yeah.
that's approved.
Just,
Yep,
talk to James
Yeah.
tomorrow.
thank you.
Perfect.
All right, move on to our board and commission reports. Planning Commission, Mayor Day.
The planning commission, normally would meet here on the 10th of March, but, it appears we don't have anything, to discuss. So we'll probably be, canceling the March meeting, and we'll pick up our business in April.
All right,
But I'll let council know officially here in the
All right.
next couple of days.
thanks, Mayor Day. Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. McAvoy.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board of Zoning and Appeals will meet here in council chambers on March the 10th at 5 PM if there are any variances requested to be heard. As we know, that has been a rarity since the changing in the zoning. We had one last year, by the way. I don't know if I reported on that.
Yes.
And usually it was 11 out of 12 months, and usually heard multiples. So what a blessing that has been.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Airport Commission, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Airport Commission will be meeting March 10th, 6 PM at the Harry Cleaver Field Airport meeting room.
All right, thank you. Park Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right. Health Board, Mr. Simmerling.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last Wednesday, Nicole, who was here tonight, our health commissioner, presented their annual report on disease, and she's going to present that to you tonight. It's interesting, there's more going on out there than you know. And I came home to me over the weekend, I went to a funeral for somebody who died of COVID. and people say, well, nobody dies of COVID anymore. Is there any COVID around? Well, yes, there is, as a matter of fact, and a lot of other bad stuff. And Nicole is gonna give you an overview, at least, of her report on how much bad stuff is out there. Right, Nicole?
Nicole, you're on.
She brought her own banner light.
Yeah.
Like, somebody just texted Michelle's phones, and I'm like.
Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Nicole Bache. I'm the Health Commissioner at the New Philadelphia City Health Department. And I brought with me tonight Dana Fischio, who is our Director of Public Health Administration. We're here to present the New Philadelphia City Health Department's 2025 Communicable Disease Report. Under Ohio Revised Code, health departments are required to study and document the prevalence of communicable diseases and ensure prompt diagnosis and treatment. This annual report fulfills that requirement and serves as our comprehensive review of communicable disease trends throughout our jurisdiction. The 2025 report has been published in digital format and is now available to the public on our website. If you'd like to go ahead and pull that up, Dana. In the essence of time, I'm going to just hit a few highlights for you tonight. The first page I'd like to hit is page 7. This outlines the rate of change between 2024 and 2025. We can see that our community experienced one of the most severe influenza seasons in recent years. Hospitalized influenza rates increased by 380%. Lyme disease cases among city residents also rose by 100% compared to 2024. At the same time, we saw encouraging declines in other areas, including chlamydia rates that decreased by 35.5% and hepatitis C rates that declined by 36.4%. Next, on page 8, you will find the demographic profile for the city of New Philadelphia. This data is sourced from the U.S. Census Bureau, and this page provides important context about the population that we serve at the New Philadelphia City Health Department. Of particular note is the increase in uninsured residents that we have in our city. In 2024, 9.6% of our residents were uninsured. We can see that by 2025, that number had grown to 11.9%. Additionally, the percentage of residents identifying as Hispanic or Latino increased from 9.1% in 2024 to 11.3% in 2025. Although that may seem like a small change in percentage, in a community our size, that's a very large number. These demographic shifts have directly informed how our department needed to adapt services to deliver and outreach efforts through the year to our residents. On page 12, we'll skip over all of the charts that you can look at on your own there. But on page 12, we compare communicable disease trends in the city of New Philadelphia with those in Tuscarawas County as a whole. I went ahead and did the math here to use these trends. They're based on a rate of 100,000 population so that we can look at the different size populations, apples to apples. Excluding COVID, the top 3 trending diseases over the last 5 years in both our jurisdiction and the county have been chlamydia, hepatitis C, and Lyme disease. When examining these rates, New Philadelphia's case rates for chlamydia and hepatitis are nearly double those of Tuscarawas County as a whole. Conversely, our Lyme disease rate is slightly lower than that of the surrounding county. Finally, I would like to draw your attention to page 13. The top section highlights vaccination rates over the past 3 years. It is not surprising that overall vaccination rates have trended slightly lower in 2025. Revisions to CDC and ACIP childhood immunization guidelines, along with differing messaging from national organizations such as the CDC and American Academy of Pediatrics, have contributed to public confusion. Throughout this period, our department has remained committed to providing clear, evidence-based information to help families make informed healthcare decisions. Notably, total clinic visits in 2025 at the New Philadelphia City Health Department increased by 13.9% over 2024. Even though our immunization rates were slightly lower, overall use of our facility had increased, reflecting continued trust and reliance in our services. The final section that I'd like to draw your attention to tonight is titled, "Where do our patients come from?" And this little tidbit I just found interesting, and I knew that Mrs. Ramos would as well, because she always asks. In 2025, New Philly Health Department had the privilege of serving patients from 43 distinct zip codes across the state of Ohio. While the majority of our patients, 63.2%, reside in New Philadelphia, we also serve a significant number of individuals from neighboring communities, including residents of Dover that include about 15.2% of our patient population, while 6.2% of our patients come from the Denison and Yorksville area, and an additional 9.1% from the surrounding county. I also found it notably interesting that 6.3% of our total patients came from out of county to seek care at our clinic. Underscoring the regional impact and trusted reputation that our health department has on the area. I'd like to thank you for your time. Like I said tonight, I wanted to keep this brief. In an essence of making sure that you were timely in getting out of here, but I will remain after council if you'd like to discuss anything that is in the report or have any questions. I'll be around back here. Thank you.
Any questions for Nicole?
I got one question, I guess. This is educational purposes only, since for the health department to serve people outside of the city, is that a requirement or what?
It is not a requirement. So certain services are allowed to be open to anyone in the state of Ohio. Other services are jurisdictional only. Our clinic is allowed to be, anyone can come to us for services. They pay the same fees, insurances are billed, we're collecting money, which is income for the city, which is a great thing. Jurisdictional wise, we have no jurisdiction outside of our city, so we can't enforce code on restaurants, nuisance complaints, anything like that that we license, we can't enforce anything outside of the jurisdiction. However, anyone can come to us to receive services, as well as like vital statistics, birth and death certificates. We have people that travel from all over the county to come to us and get their birth and death certificates because we're easy to work with and we'll print them on demand right there for them while they wait.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question at the meeting that I got a surprising answer from Nicole. We have a bilingual person works in that department who really draws typically a lot of attraction from the Spanish-speaking community here. And then they come in and they ask her also, can you handle my rent problems and my utility problems? And, get my kid out of jail, whatever. The traffic of the Hispanic community in here has declined significantly since the government started its deportation practice. Those people don't want to be noticed. And it's a shame that I don't know do you have any idea how far that's down?
I don't. We have been told from the schools that last year they were enrolling from the school nurses, just offhandedly, I don't have exact data. They were enrolling, they felt between 4 and 7 new Hispanics a week last year at times in the schools. This year, they said they feel like they're maybe seeing that many a month, if that it's really dropped off immensely. And I will make note, our bilingual health educator has been a fabulous asset for the city. She's working with multiple departments here within City Hall. We send her out when anybody needs help, but she is 100% grant funded. The city pays nothing for her at this point.
Thank you. Thanks, Nico. If I, Mr.
Yes,
President, I
Mary
could add, Itati, who's the bilingual employee, is also utilized by Code Administrator Matthias whenever he has to go into, homes, structures where there's, Spanish-speaking people. So Itati is not only utilized in the health department, she's utilized in other departments.
You know,
within
she's
the
gone and
city.
helped the fire department on occasion. She comes to the tax department and helps them, assists them as well, so.
Does she help in the courts?
No, she has
No.
not ever been
No,
asked to
they
go to
have
the
their own.
courts.
Yeah. It has her, yeah.
All right, thank you, Nicole. Any more, Tom, for you, or?
I don't have anything else.
Or move on to our council committee reports. Finance, Mr. Rippeth.
Thank you, Mr. President. On February 10th, we held it wasn't really a finance committee meeting as much as it was a budget work session. Went for what, about two and a half hours?
Yeah,
We were in here
well,
talking
that's
and
good.
trying to make some headway. We are going to hold another one at 3 o'clock on the 26th of this month right here. So any council member that wishes to be a part of those discussions, I encourage you to come so we can get this budget hashed out and put together to be passed.
What day of the week is that, Friday?
That is a Thursday.
Thursday,
That's a
this
Thursday.
Thursday,
This Thursday.
3 o'clock.
That's all I have for you.
All right. Public Works and Economic Development, Mr. Wanzer.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening.
Safety, Health and Service, Mr. Simmerling.
No, thank you, Mr. President, no report.
Zoning and Annexation, Mrs. Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. President, no report.
All right, Salary, Mr. Reinbill.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right, Cemetery Board, Mr. Sears.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
All right, and Contact and Special, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Mr. President, no report.
All right. All right, the floor is now open for visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address council should rise, state your name and address, and address all comments to the chair. I think we do have one guest this evening, Mr. Salvo.
Good evening. How are y'all doing?
Good, thanks.
First of all, a pleasure to be here. It's nice to see you conducting business, so thank you, Mr. President. I have had the pleasure of talking to Mayor Day, and I stopped by, first of all, because I've not been here for a while, so I can certainly just kind of let you know where we're at in the legislature right now. Right now, we're in the middle of capital budget, and hopefully, day one, I sent out as much information on the capital budget as possible to our community partners. So looking forward to seeing what projects will be coming from here. And then Senator Landis and I will be working very closely just to make sure that we can support any efforts from Tuscarawas County. You know what? I realize I've not been here since I've been in office, so I just kind of want to give you a little bit about the work I'm doing right now, and just so if you ever need to access me, that it's very clear and easy to do that. I'm on 4 committees right now. I'm the Vice Chair of Children and Human Services. I'm on Energy, Natural Resources, and Community Revitalization. So great committees. There's probably no place better than be on Energy right now with House Bill 15 and just really trying to make sure that Ohio is the powerhouse. So have done a very good job of decreasing regulations and some really nice investments we're seeing here in Ohio. Children and Human Services was my heartbeat. You all know I come from a social service background. In fact, I was just looking at the legislation that I'm working on right now. It's kind of funny, you know, when you're busy, but sometimes it's not till you stop and look at what you're doing. I have about 17 pieces of legislation. 6 of them are right in the mental health space, which should help. I know working with the Addiction Task Force and the fire department, I know, and the sheriff's department. A lot of what we see in our community does come through addiction and mental health. So some of the legislation is expanding workforce in those areas. Others are behavioral health screenings, very much like we have physical health screenings. So quite a bit of work right in that space. I am the co-chair on the Aging Committee. And I kind of forgot that was my first love when I went into office, but it is my first love. So working on how do we address aging here in Ohio. And currently we do not have an aging committee, which kind of blew my mind. So it'll be something that we'll be working towards, since our fastest growing population is that 85 and over. So really looking holistically at Ohioans and how do we age from housing to healthcare to recreation. So have some work there. Quite a bit of legislation again on workforce development, on both that direct care service and that mental health again. And then I have quite a few pieces that are just coming from constituents, from distracted driving. There's quite a few others that just kind of are all over the place. But wanted to let you know, I am here and I'm available. I am in Columbus a couple days a week, but it's very easy to call my office and let's get coffee if you want to sit down and talk about anything. I also let people know in the district, if there is something that you care about, if you're getting a legislative alert from wherever you're coming from, as soon as you see that, please let me know. Reach out to my office. This has been a very, very busy and active General Assembly, and from what I understand from my colleagues, probably one of the busiest we've had. About 700 pieces of legislation in play. So what that means is often you just know what's before you. So I know exactly what's in my committee. That's where my effort goes. But if you have a piece of legislation that is not in my committee, give me a call. I will immediately track that piece of legislation. And I need to know from y'all what you feel about the legislation, if we need amendments, what we need to change. And as soon as you do that, that piece of legislation, I promise you what I do is when I commute, I listen to that legislation, and then I will work with that committee as far as representing the needs here back home. So feel free, the sooner you let me know what legislation you care about or you're tracking, the better I can do my job. So please always reach out to me. And then I also came because of one of the questions, Mayor Day, and I follow your Monday reports, is the question about the abolition of property tax, the ballot initiative. I fully get that people are very frustrated. We all know getting a 20%, 30% increase is unaffordable for a lot of people. So I want you to hear, I understand the frustration with property tax. I also want you to know, when I went into office last year, before we even were sworn in, we were having conversations about what are the top priorities for Ohio. Property tax was absolutely number one. So if you followed last January, February, March, there were so many pieces of property tax legislation that we were looking at. I will let you know it is a complicated system. And I will also let you know, and you guys know, being on council, there is no perfect piece of legislation. So it takes a lot of kind of measuring what are we doing and how much relief does that give to Ohioans. We had a ship going in one direction for a really long time, which was not a good direction as far as valuations. We had major spikes happening for a good 5 years. So with all that being said, I did send information to the mayor, and I know he had placed it on Facebook, that we have passed 5 pieces of legislation have been signed into law by Governor DeWine, which will give relief in July. So those reforms, you can feel free to call my office. We can provide information. But what, in essence, you will see is you will not see those spikes anymore. So we've been capping to inflation. there's a lot more transparency, and there's more transparency to come. So people understand what are they voting for. We're not talking in mills, we're going to be talking in percentages to help people understand property tax. We're also giving much more authority to the Budget Commission. So the Budget Commission, our auditor, will have more ability or will reinforce or strengthen when they're doing valuations, that he's able to throw out those properties that are not in line with the other properties driving up taxes. So we've dealt with the 20 mil floor, we've dealt with outside the 20 mil floor as far as capping to inflation. So those are in play. You will see a reduction. But I also wanted to let you know we are not done. So if anyone's still frustrated, like, we need more relief. I just printed out the agenda for our Ways and Means for Wednesday. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 more property tax bills in play just being introduced. They're all from multiple legislators. I'm just looking at these. They will have their first hearing on Wednesday. But these will expand owner occupancy legislation, enact the Ohio Capital Gains Tax Repeal Act, modify certain property tax rollbacks. I only say that we know the work needs to continue. What we provided, what we passed this past year should provide billions of relief spread across Ohio, but these are then going to be a little more targeted to get hopefully the relief that we need. So I say all that because people are frustrated and they're wanting to have the ballot initiative to eliminate property tax. I will let you know it would be a $24 billion hole. We do not have a plan for that. And if you went through a ballot initiative, the problem is we're just struggling right now to reduce property taxes. To have a ballot initiative to just abolish them would not give us time to really walk through what do we need to do that would be best for Ohio. Some people say raise sales tax. If you just rose sales tax, you could really be looking from 15 to probably 20% in sales tax. And I always tell my colleagues, and when I'm talking to people, I guarantee it will hit rural Ohio the hardest. We have many residents that could not survive 15, 16% sales tax, and it would be very hard for our small businesses as well. So, that's one of the current concerns. Could we sustain that? Also, when you're looking at a sales tax that high, you have to look at our surrounding states. That would be problematic because why would you want to shop or to live here in Ohio? So I think the legislature's been doing a really good job of making Ohio business-friendly, energy-friendly, manufacturing-friendly. We're seeing growth everywhere. There's a lot of commitment, but if you can't afford to live here, that's problematic. You'll hear some people say, well, let's increase income tax. And again, would be replacing a $24 billion hole, which would then put all the burden just on our working class. And then that's a very unpredictable way to fund the future. We know when our economy's great, we're all doing well. When it's not, we're struggling. So there would need to be that opportunity to take things through a committee and try to figure out, what would work. But I caution everybody, there is not a state that does not have property tax. So if it was so easy, I'm thinking like Florida would have figured it out by now. They had a representative that laid out a plan probably early fall last year. So that was the first piece of legislation to abolish. And then when they were looking at it, there was a lot of problems. Theirs really came down to sales tax between counties. If someone had a lot of business, they could have a lower sales tax, but then you could see other counties that really then had unaffordable high property tax. And then if you just look, what would that do to a community? If that was us and we had really high here in our rural areas, of course, you would just drive to the next county to get lower taxes. So there's a lot to think about, but I also caution people when we have these conversations. I hear it all the time. Not enough, too late. The rebuttal is property taxes fund everything we most care about. You know that. You guys are public servants. But help it. It's a conversation we all need to have. I think from the fire department, from police, EMF, we need to be having conversations that's what our property tax funds, everything that we care about. So from Veteran Services, Adams Board, our schools, I mean, you just go down the line. It really is everything that we care about. So I guess speaking to you and anyone listening online, please know this is a primary focus in the legislature. This is something that we diligently work on. And we also know we need the funding for our local communities. I tell people, well, the state needs to come up with a bigger share. And I kind of always pause because the state is us. So you pay the taxes locally, you're going to pay them to the state. But I, as a representative, still would not feel comfortable for our money to go to the state, that it would come back here in the way that we would want to see it. So I think our local property taxes really takes care of us and what we care about. It's just we really need to do more work on it. So, any questions?
Any questions? Thank you for coming. Oh, yes, miss.
You never look at me.
Well, I should look at you first, Tina.
Maybe you can email me the answers to
Sure.
these, but a lot of my ward, including myself, are seniors, and we have our homes paid for.
Okay.
So of the relief that's been passed so far, what is the relief for seniors and what's maybe coming down the pike?
The only one for seniors as of yet was the piggyback homestead relief. So what the state has always provided on exemptions for our elderly or for our seniors, our local communities can do a piggyback off of that. But I will tell you the seniors are those areas that are in these upcoming bills that we're looking at. So I can send those to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering about the homestead. You mentioned owner occupancy is up this Wednesday.
Yes, one of them. There's
one
been
of them?
multiple pieces of legislation on owner occupancy.
Hopefully an increase in that. And
And there's
I
one on
like-
veterans as well.
I like the non-business tax credit too, because,
Yeah.
we don't have rental properties. But I know that's a hot topic. I've been reading a lot on
Sure.
that. And I haven't signed up for Newsbreak. I don't know if anybody else is. A lot of news comes across on there. And people don't understand property taxes. Now, you have a better understanding than me. I just paid my property
Yeah.
tax bill.
And it was
Increased
painful.
9% with no new levies. So it was just valuation. And I don't live in a, I live more in a low rent district
Yeah.
off New Philly.
I will send you that information though on
I
seniors.
appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very good.
Because I'm really interested in this.
Absolutely.
in this.
Right, any other questions? Thank you, Ms. South.
Thank you, and I thank you for your service.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you for your service.
Yes. Council comments, any council members with comments this evening? Here then we move to our legislative agenda. Ms. Courtright.
There's nothing on the agenda tonight.
Wow, all right. Do we have any unfinished old business? Any new business for council tonight? Mr. Lonzer,
So moved, Mr. President.
we adjourn at 8:53 PM. Thank you, everyone.